Okay, class, so today we will be learning about the math function order of operations. This function is very important because it will help you in future math courses, and it is a function you must remember throughout your career in math. So, we're going to start out by learning what the order of operations really are. First is you have the parentheses. So, that is anything inside the parentheses, you do that function first. The next is exponent, so anything to the power 2 squared, for example, that is the next thing you do. Multiplication and division go together, so after parentheses and exponents, any multiplication and division, you will do those next. The last is addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction follow after multiplication and division. They're the last two order of operations. This order, like I said, will help you in future math problems, so make sure you always use this algorithm. It's very important that you remember this, and I have something that can help you remember it. First thing, though, is we're going to go over examples. So the example of parentheses is, say, 4 times 2, but it's in parentheses. That's the first thing you must do when you see the problem. Then you have the exponent, so 3 to the second power, anything with the exponent, anything to the power of. That's what that is. Multiplication, so anything that's multiplied 5 times 4, 3 times 2, 7 times 5, anything of that nature is multiplication. Division, 12 divided by 3, 6 divided by 1, 9 divided by 3, anything of that nature is division. Everyone knows what addition is, so 7 plus 1, 4 plus 2, 6 plus 7, anything of that addition. Last is subtraction. Subtraction, 6 minus 5, 3 minus 1, 6 minus 2, anything. Subtraction, so addition and subtraction go together, multiplication and division go together. So this is the mnemonic device that is very common for the order of operations. It's called PEMDAS. So PEMDAS is how you're going to remember it, and there's a little like sentence that goes along with it, a little saying. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So this saying, the first letter of each word corresponds to the operation and the order. So as you see, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally is also PEMDAS, but it's just another way for you to remember it. So you can remember it either using PEMDAS or the saying, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Here's a picture of Aunt Sally. So the P is for parentheses, E and excuse is for exponents, M and my is for multiplication, D and dear is for division, A and aunt is for addition, and S and Sally is for subtraction. So now we're going to name the order of each operation. So you guys are going to tell me what's first, what's second, what's third. So first, what do we have? Correct, so we would do parentheses first, 5 minus 1. Then what do we do? So in PEMDAS, you do the parentheses, and you do the multiplication. So 3 times whatever's inside the parentheses, 3 times 4, and then you add 20. In the second, you do the parentheses first. So 1 plus 9, or 1 plus 8 is 9. Then you do the exponent, 2 to the second, and you multiply the exponent, then you multiply 2 to the second power, which is 4, by 9 in the parentheses, then add 3. Lastly, you do the parentheses. So you do whatever's inside the parentheses. 5 times 4 is 20 to the power of 2. These are the answers. So in the first one, like I said, parentheses, multiplication, then addition. In the second one, parentheses, exponents, and you multiply 2 to the second by the parentheses, and you add 3. And then the last one, you do whatever's inside the parentheses, then you do the exponent. Now we're going to solve them. So keep calm, remember PEMDAS. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to solve these problems. These are the same ones that we just did. I just talked you through them, so try and find the final answer. So number 1 is 32. This is the second question. Second answer is 39. 3. The third answer is 400. So next we have some more practice. So I'm gonna give you a couple questions, and then you're gonna take a minute and give me the answer. So this is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one. When you're done with all three of these, talk to the person next to you and see if they got the same answer as you. If they didn't, try to work backwards and figure out what you did wrong. Remember PEMDAS and the order that you do things. So the first answer, did everyone get 21? Good job. The second one, did everyone get 60? Okay. And third, what did you guys get? Good job, -8. So now we're going to move on to word problems. Word problems are a little difficult because you got to make sure you know what you're looking for. Sometimes they throw some actual words in there to make it more confusing or try to get you thrown off track. So as a reminder, there's Aunt Sally. Okay, so I highlighted in red what I think is important. So Adam has $450. He then spends $210 on food, which I don't think is important. Later, he divides all the money into 4 parts, out of which 3 parts are distributed, but 1 part he keeps for himself. He then finds $50 on the road. The question, it's always important, always the last thing they ask. Write the final expression and find the money he has left. Take a minute and try and figure this problem out. Remember, what is in red is important. And when you guys read other problems, you should try and highlight, underline, circle the things that you think are important. So why I think only these are important is because they throw in the 3 parts, the other 3 parts were distributed, so they try to trick you. Also, it gives you, when you read it this way, some clarification. He only keeps 1 part to himself, so you're not even worried about the other 3 parts. Okay, so did everyone find the answer? Can someone please say the answer? So I did it in steps. So he's 450, spends 210 on food, so he's 240. He then divides it by 4 and gets 60. That should be a 4, not a 6. So he divides it by 4 and then gets 60. Last, he finds $50 on the road and gets $110 as his total. His total amount. So his final answer is 110. So we're going to bring some more word problems in. You guys are going to do these on your own. Try and find the correct answers. Circle and highlight what you think is important. So Andy has $1,500 and he invested in stock. In one day his money was doubled. The next day he got a profit of 165 and later a loss of 238. Write an expression for this and determine his present amount. Second question. Linda bought 3 notebooks for $120 each, a box of pencils for $150, and a box of pens for $170. Write an expression and determine how much money she spent on the materials. Alright, let's figure out the answers. So, this is the final expression for the first one. Because you do the parentheses first. That he had $1,500, he doubled it. And the next day, he added 165 and then lost 238. The answer, always make sure you put the dollar sign in a word problem for whatever the amount of oranges or apples or whatever the word problem is asking for. Make sure you put however many of the item it's asking for. In the second problem, this was the final expression. So you do bought 3 boxes for $120, then 1 box for $150, and 1 box for $170, which gives you $6.80 she spent on materials. So now it's time for some group work. So get into groups of 2 and work on these problems. Every group that solves them correctly will get extra points. Depending on how many groups get them right will determine the amount of points you get. So here's 6 questions. Work through them with your partner and figure out all the answers. And everyone's done, we'll go over them. So the answers, number 1 was 3. Number 2 was 15. Number 3 was 6. Number 4 was 32. Number 5 was 93. Number 6 was 8. Hoping that working with a partner, you guys learned something or took a couple extra minutes to make sure the order of operations was correct and you were doing everything in the correct order. Partner group is good because you have someone else that can help you check your work before you turn it in. So now we're going to talk about expert status. I want you all to become experts on this material. So I want you all to write the order of operations in the correct order. So what step comes first, what step comes second, what step comes third, and so on, and write the saying that goes along with it. And create 2 examples of the problem and find the answers. Then, after you find your own answers, you'll share it with the class and give them a chance to find your questions. Okay, good job. Now that that's over, make sure to ask for extra help after class if you need it, because we will have a review quiz at the beginning of next class to make sure everyone understands. If not, if you don't need extra help, complete the homework and continue striving to become an expert in the order of operations, because using this algorithm, you'll be able to better your overall status in math and go on to better things. But this needs to be ingrained in your head because it will come up numerous times in the future.